Monero, one of the grandfathers of the privacy cryptocurrency. A great cryptocurrency if you want to be private and anonymous. I'm a big fan of Monero, but there is something you need to know about the Monero wallet. Some things are changing. What is the only legal, I said the word legal, Monero wallet? Now here in the United States and any country that utilizes the dollar as the Federal Reserve currency, which still is a very large number of currencies, the way the global economics are run, there could be some changes in this and some loopholes that could affect your Monero. We're gonna break this down today in Operation Monero Wallets. There's a chunk of stuff to unpack in this video, so let's dive right in. Monero is an incredible cryptocurrency. Now, when you go to Monero's website, which if you haven't already, you can check out the video I did right here, which I did a detailed breakdown on the technical analysis and really getting into the technical weeds of Monero. I'm not gonna do that in this video. What I'm gonna talk about specifically is the Monero wallets. If you go to Monero, as you see here, you can click downloads and you can go to the wallet. You can get started right away. They make it super simple, super private, super secure. As always, I recommend you go in ghost mode, which is what we do here on PrivacyX, but you can use the graphical user interface wallet. Now, they've got a few things. They've got simple mode, they've got advanced mode, and as a merchant, you can accept your Monero just like that. So it's a very good wallet, the graphical user interface wallet. Also, it is designed around the utilization of hardware wallets like the Ledger and Trezor, okay? So lots of really, really good options. You can do in-app conversions. You've got the actual, market and how much Monero is worth. It really breaks things down. It's a really good wallet and a really good option for a lot of you. And if you've never used Monero before, I recommend you check it out, but I caution you to pause for just a second as we go into this video, because you're gonna wanna buckle up and hear what I have to say, because it gets a little crazy, as it always does in the crypto, and you wanna make sure you stay on the right side or out of the purview of these government agencies that are coming after Monero actively. And there's a couple things you can do to stay off their watch lists and their radar. The next one is the command line. So you've got the command line interface, okay? Command line interface, another wallet. Another good option, and this is the one that I've used for a long time and the one that I really like personally. You've got in-app conversions, you've got your local or remote nodes. Okay, so when it comes to crypto, you're gonna hear a lot about nodes. Again, I'm not gonna get super technical here because some people's eyes glaze over. I try to give you just enough technical stuff not to bore the average person to death, but local or remote nodes is really important. It's gonna look more like this, more code-esque, right? It's gonna be more the command line. If you've ever done anything in the command line, if you ever do any hacking, here at PrivacyX, we do a lot of good guy hacking, pen testing, penetration testing for websites, for large Fortune 500 companies, for all kinds of different clients, and penetration testing is vital. The structure of Monero, the code, and it's open source on both of these, which is vital so it can be audited and checked. Now, you are also going to be able to do blockchain pruning, which is another really important option for resources. And you're also going to be able to transact over Tor, which is why I personally utilize the command line. However, there is some things written in this, and I'm going to tell you the wallet that I recommend moving forward. And it's a wallet that I've personally used for a long time because of the situation and because of the way these are structured. Of course, it's also structured for direct integration with your hardware wallet. Now, you should never be accepting or receiving or transacting in your hardware wallet, in my opinion. You should have another layer for security. Okay, you should have a security layer. It's kind of like having a phone number and then utilizing an app like Signal for the security layer. You should not use your real phone number on Signal. It's pretty obvious, right? Your phone number should be given out to nobody. That's your security layer, and then you bring it, not to be confused with SSL, okay, not a secure socket, but actually structuring it to where you've got a compartmentalization structure, which we talk a lot about here at PrivacyX. Now, in this situation, whether you're using the graphical interface or the command line, There's a new bill that passed about a month ago. Now, the reason this is important to you, whether you're in Germany or whether you're in anywhere in the EU, you could be in Berlin, you could be in France, you could be in UK, whether you're in Australia or Canada, or certainly whether you're in the United States, because the way the Western world transacts with the dollar. A lot of countries would like to see the dollar fail. I think there's people in the United States who like to see the dollar fail. But until it does, there's some things you need to keep in mind, especially when it comes to crypto. First of all, the problem with the Monero is the way that it's structured. Okay, it creates a privacy coin, which is phenomenal. That's why I love Monero. That's probably why you love Monero. But the problem with the Monero wallets is in this new bill, and it was 2,700 pages that they pushed through. It's got aid for Ukraine. It's got aid for IRS agents to pump that out and audit all hardworking Americans. And it's got aid for counter surveillance in Europe. And I mean, we're literally surveilling Europe like we always. It's got all this crazy stuff. It's got stuff to push back against the Canadian Freedom People's Combat. It's a bunch of stupid stuff, like always. Like all of our bills. Nothing for the people, of course, never. Couldn't have it. $1.5 trillion, anything for the people? Absolutely not. Okay, fine. But what it does have is a bunch of provisions talking about crypto. Now, the good news is we've got an outstanding executive order on the president's desk right now, you may have seen, where they're doing research. Oh, this ought to go well, research. But in there, they talk about no specific coins, which is really good, except for they expressively outline that you cannot have a coin creating its own exchange, its own wallet. So basically, you can't be the currency, which Monero is looked at as because it's a privacy coin to transact privately. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel because in tomorrow's video, I'm actually going to break down exactly how you can use Monero to purchase everyday items. Some of your favorite brands, everything, 100% anonymous. So that's coming tomorrow, the very next video. But I want to talk about the wallets first, and then we're going to get into that. But see, the thing is, you use Monero, and in a Monero created wallet. How is it a Monero created wallet? It's a download on Monero's website. So you cannot be the currency and the bank, in essence. And that's what they're structuring Monero as, the currency and the bank. Now, I know some of you are literally in stitches right now. You're laughing so hard because the US Fed, the Fed, who prints the money? Who's the Federal Reserve Bank? But here's the thing with the United States. The irony is not lost on me, and it's probably not lost on you. And the thing with the United States is they're the biggest hypocrites ever. They're out there putting on sanctions on other people, but you can't do nothing to us. They're out there threatening other countries and doing things to other countries, but you can't do nothing to us. And it's the same thing here. They don't want Monero to be able to have a currency and their own wallet. Why? Because that separation creates a security breach, and they're going to attack that security breach. So they're going to say, well, even if we can't make it illegal, we can make it illegal to have the currency, because no other coins really have this, right? So like Bitcoin could be anywhere. And Bitcoin's not a privacy coin, right? Ethereum obviously goes without saying. So unless you've got a secure manner of transaction or a safety net manner of transaction to be able to separate these, right? So you know that I talk a lot about going ghost, which is vital. If you're not going ghost, you're gonna have some serious problems with coming up in the world over the next couple of years. But with the scenario with Monero, you need to keep in mind that they don't want you to be your own bank and your own currency, even though that's exactly what the Fed does. So they're going after Monero. So using a wallet outside of Monero itself, does that solve the problem? No, it's basically just a roundabout. So what's legal, what's not legal? Well, here's the thing. You don't really know what's legal until it's been tried. And they don't want to try it because they don't want to admit they can't break into it. So what they're going to look for is they're going to look for a big fish. You don't want to be around when that big fish is there. So here's what I'm doing. All I'm doing is telling you what I'm doing. You do whatever you want to do. I like the command line. I like the graphical user interface, and there's other wallets, but for me, my Monero is a great wallet. This wallet right here, and I personally really like this one, also open source. I'm not connected to them in any way. I just like them. I think it's a great wallet. So that's the one I'm using, and because it gets around that loophole, I'm not being directly correlated with the downloads. Now, they do have on Monero's website, they do have a link leading to this, but it's not a direct download. So based on this law, and I talked to a lawyer about this last week who works with PrivacyX, and based on this, it wouldn't actually hold up in court. So utilizing that sidestep. Now, am I saying you should abandon all these other wallets? No, I'm not. But I'm saying you should be aware of the tactics they're using. It's kind of like they got Al Capone for tax evasion. The guy was murdering people, killing people, gangster, all this stuff. And not only get them for tax evasion, they got them for some, they really laid it on thick. They basically made something work. In the federal government, whether it's the United States, Canada, Australia, Europe, or any of these other countries, are masters at making their laws work. That's why almost all laws are written in a way that they can be manipulated and utilized to your advantage or against you, depending upon the structure that is at, basically that's on the docket that's being put under the microscope. So that's what I want to break down when it comes to Monero wallets. This is vital because I think Monero is an important cryptocurrency. There's other important cryptocurrency privacy coins. Monero's been around since 2014. It's made some serious waves. It's become kind of like the staple. It took Bitcoin. It started out as Monero and then dropped the bit, just became Monero, which is better off. It's better than Bitcoin in a lot of ways and in pretty much all ways. But obviously, it doesn't have the fanfare that Bitcoin has because Bitcoin's the OG, Bitcoin's the original brand name. But there's a lot of value to Monero and the way that it's structured. Going after privacy coins is going to be a big thing in the coming future. In fact, they might be on the chopping block, so you just really want to be careful, utilize these things properly, but understand how you're doing it. This is what I'm doing. You do whatever it is you want to do. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Putting out new videos all the time. Let me know what you think down below about the government's failed attempts on Monero, how to crack it. Do you think they actually cracked it, or do you think they haven't? Do you think that, well, we already know they're making watch lists of people on Monero, so structuring it properly, being a ghost before you get in is vital. If you want to figure out how to become a ghost, first link down below, you guys can check that out. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. Go all in everything you do, and I'll see you guys in the next video.